Hello, Internet. Another shorter episode of More About, the show in which me, with that strange name, try to cover topics that I think haven't been discussed from the right angles, so to speak, in the mainstream media. And in mainstream media, I include podcasts because podcasts are now listened to by millions and millions of daily viewers and listeners and so forth. So this week, I think I'll start with Elon Musk forming a new party. And should I show it on screen? Nah, I'll skip. So Elon Musk started a new party called the American Party, which is such a stupid name, even though it's not the first time such a party will exist. I think it was, let's see what my AI told me before. American Party was the Know Nothing Party in the 1850s. That's the last time that name was used in American politics. It failed. And this is part of what I want to discuss. Americans are so blown away by the fact that Elon Party formed a third party in a country with two-party politics. And first, I want to remind you, it wasn't always like that. You had third parties. What I could find, or my AI could find, is the Liberty Party in the 1840s, the Free Soil Party in the 1840s, the Know Nothing American Party in the 1950s, the Populist Party in the 1890s, and then in the 20th century there were another four: the Progressives, the Socialists, the American Independent, and the Reform. And even today, you have a third party. It's called the Libertarian Party. I think they ran for the last 8 elections straight or so. I even used to know the names of the candidates. I think one of them was interviewed by Dave Rubin before an election. And when I was younger, I remember Ron Paul, the father of Rand Paul, who's independent, I believe, today. He also ran the Libertarian Party at some point. So you did have third parties. You do have a third party. It's just not very successful. The question is, can Elon Musk change that? Which I think he can, but not for the reason you would think. The point is, the parties in the US today are called the Democrats and the Republicans, as we all know. But I want to claim here, as a food for thought, just roll with me. It's just thinking out loud. Let's see. The Republican Party. I mean, the Democrats. The Democrats are such a stupid party that they have become so radicalized that anyone you put on top, as long as he cudgels to the extremists on the left, he's guaranteed a win, because the Democrats have a stronger history of bringing people to actually vote. And even when the Republicans win the election, usually the popular vote is won by the Democrats, which, yes, I know Trump did win the popular vote in the last election, but that's an exception to the rule, because Kamala Harris was such a terrible candidate. Like, no one even in her own party wanted her. So that's the reason I think that Trump won the last election. And then we move to the Republican Party. The Republican Party is not what it used to be. I mean, many of its people stand out for their same ideas. But since Trump took over, there has been a process, a very worrying process. And I know that's a left-wing talking point, but it has been happening. You cannot deny that many ideas are casualing to Donald Trump and his whims, or whatever they are. I mean, even if you don't think they are whims, if you think he has a master plan for the world, that master plan does not align with the original ideas of the Republican Party. For example, he signed dozens of executive orders, and the House voted, the House members that are supporting him voted in some bills that all have something in common. They try to fix broken states in the US by forcing them to do things that the Republican Party believe are correct. The problem is the Republican Party was formed around the idea that the federal government does not dictate policy to the states. So Trump's people have completely abandoned that idea. They claim they are for states, and they say they are deregulating things, but they are actually passing regulations that states cannot regulate AI. So what do you do for states' rights? You're actually giving more power to that one federal government that the right didn't even want back in the day. They just participated in it because they realized it was their best option for the time being. So that idea was completely abandoned. And that's the main one. I mean, states' rights is the main thing I've noticed being completely abandoned and pulled to the side. So the Republican Party is going in a direction that's not Republican. It's just one man party, and everyone else just does whatever the man says should be done today. If he gets up one day and says, oops, camera is stuttering, sorry. If he gets up one day and says, let's give the states more rights in one area, and he did do that, we give it to them. Like in what did he do that gave states more rights? I think it was I don't remember what it was, but I do remember in relation to education, he actually enforced federal policy on California, for example, and in the area of DEI and gender policy, he enforced it on several states. And let's not forget the last one. He's enforcing the federal immigration policy on California. Is it bad? Do I agree it needs to be enforced? Yes. Is it the federal government's job? That's something you should debate, not just enforce without any questions asked, which is what I'm trying to show here. Another thing that the Republican Party gets completely wrong again, time and time again, is people. I've heard so many podcasters claiming that Trump won, what they call Trump won, the 45th his 45th term. He didn't know which parts were important to substitute with his own people, and so he had many people in the administration opposing his policies and ruining them and putting sticks in the wheels of enforcing the whatever he promised, like the wall. But now they claim they changed, and they appointed people like Kash Patel to the FBI, whatever her name is, the AG, Pam Bondi, and Dan Bongino as whatever he is. And then we come to the second most talked about issue of this past week, the Jeffrey Epstein files. This administration and dozens of the people involved in it went years and years vocalizing about the Jeffrey Epstein files. They were the most important thing. There is something hiding here. You're not being told the truth. He didn't kill himself. Blah, blah, blah. We'll change it. We'll open the files to everyone. Then they were elected. They appointed the right people, made a few press conferences, and then nothing. Silence. We'll open the files. You gave a few bloggers empty binders, and that was it. We never heard about it again. And then when people started riling up the questions, why don't you open up the files, we got this week's conundrum, in which they suddenly said, oh no, we've looked at the files and there's nothing in them. That's not what you promised. You didn't promise to tell us what's in the files. You promised to open the files, Bongino. So open them. Freaking open them. You cannot... claiming there are names of victims there, you can detract them, blacken them out, redact them. But is that an excuse not to do the one thing you promised hundreds of times? The one thing that you claimed was the reason you went to serve this administration. To open up the files so the people can see. And now, no, I've seen them and I'm telling you there's nothing in them. That's not good enough. But because politics is so ridiculous nowadays, all of the right-wing podcasters, or almost all of them, except for total batshit crazy Alex Jones, went out of the way this week to justify this. Ben Shapiro claiming, as long as you don't prove otherwise, Dan Bongino is a good person. I trust him. He's telling the truth. Did he tell the truth when he promised the one thing he would absolutely do is open the freaking files? The same goes with Dave Rubin. Oh, no, he's a good person. I know him. We've been friends for years. And this is a very painful subject because both Shapiro and Rubin, which I obviously listen to a lot, have proven to be totally worthless in judging their friends' characters. Both of them called Candace Owens a friend. Both of them called Tucker Carlson a friend. For years and years, I've been saying these two are dangerous people. The Candace Owens story started in 2014, I believe. She didn't... I think it started with a Blexit first and then the interview with Dave Rubin. She had... she was named Red Pill Black, and she did events for black people to leave the Democrat Party because they were total batshits. And I watched that event and something didn't click for me. I saw her speech and I felt like I was watching an actress. And I didn't know why. And then I watched her interview with Dave Rubin about her about her origin and crowdfunding campaign for a social network that completely blew up and never even opened up. And I sat and watched that interview. And I said, oh, that's the thing. Candace Owens does not believe in right-wing ideas. Candace Owens believes in Candace Owens. She believes whatever happens, Candace Owens is correct with everything she does or says. In that interview, she was all ripping off her partners and her aides in that failed social network project, which was a total sham from the very get-go. Like, go watch that interview. She seems like a pyramid scam operator explaining how to operate a pyramid scam. You just blame the people under you. Oh no, the top was always good. It's the people under me who ruined everything. No, you're the problem. Apologize. She never did. She never, ever did. Everyone is to blame except Candace Owens. And it just went on and on and on. And she got friendly with Rubin. She got friendly with Shapiro. They invited her in, gave her interviews, gave her a job. And then the October 7th happened. And then she started going fully anti-Semite. I have a theory about that I'm saving for another episode, because I'm trying to keep this one shorter than I'm intending to do, half an hour a week, because I'm on a bit of a tight schedule today. And then we have Tucker Carlson. Look at that man's face. I've watched him for years when he was on Fox, interviewing people, and my reaction to every time people were sharing his interviews and, oh, look how he makes this left-wing nutbag look stupid. I said, where? He only makes himself look stupid because he is stupid. He's probably the lowest IQ person to ever be on a TV show. Look at his eyes. They are empty, totally empty. There's nothing in there. He has no brain. He has, if there was such a thing as negative IQ, he would be it. He has negative IQ. He has no idea about anything he ever speaks about. Not when he's right, not when he's wrong. He may be right sometimes, but it's not because he's smart. It's because it happens. Like, there's that cliche saying, even a broken clock shows the right time twice a day. That's Tucker Carlson. He's just an empty man with no brain and stupid face who happens to sometimes say the right things. But ever since he quit Fox, he says mainly the wrong things. And even worse, he chose to criticize the side he was favored by and hate the side he always pushed against. Whenever he does a Republican interview now, he pushes hard. Again, not because he has a brain, but because that's what he's told to do by I have no idea who. And he has producers. I mean, it's very easy to guess who it is. It's just people around him may be pushing him in wrong directions. He doesn't have his own stellar opinion and philosophy of the world. He doesn't, because he doesn't have the capacity to. And now everyone, oh no, what's Tucker doing? No, we appreciate him so much, but we can't say a bad word about him because he's our friend. He's not a friend of anyone. He's just a stupid cuckboy who just loves to speak to a camera. I mean, I'm talking, yeah. I mean, I don't really have the right, but I do have a brain slightly bigger than Tucker Carlson's. I think I'm about average in IQ. I mean, 100 is the average. I guess I'm between 95 and 105 somewhere. Tucker would be minus 60 if I could measure him. So yeah, that's 20 minutes. Thank you for listening. I urge you to comment if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, why. Am I getting a specific thing wrong? Am I getting the entire world wrong, in your opinion? This is a discussion worth having, I think. And I'm very, very happy to have that discussion as the show goes on. And I did want to speak about another topic that I'll save for next week because it's a painful topic for me. Goodbye for now. You see me next Friday.